Holy, well listen, we gotta hurry. We gotta get this out before the first Europa League quarterfinal kicks off, so I don't even have time to say, F it, let's do another preview. Or to guilt you into hitting the like and subscribe button, we just gotta dive into the first matchup, Manchester United versus FC Copenhagen. And wait, do I even need to do this one? I mean, we all know that United are gonna smash them. No, I don't care if Copenhagen beat the Scottish and Turkish champions along the way to get to this point. Everyone knows those leagues aren't as strong as they used to be. Okay, fine. Out of respect, let's do the setup that I like to do. Okay, here are 2 reasons why Manchester United should win this game. 1, if they want to be considered one of the best clubs in the world again, not only should they win this game, they should win the whole goddamn competition. I mean, could you imagine United losing to Copenhagen and Jadon Sancho going, yep, that's the club for me? No chance. 2, they have better players. And this front 4 is going to score some goals. Martial, Rashford, Fernandes, Greenwood. Yes, they're going to hit the back of the net multiple times. But like I said before, and out of respect, here are the 2 reasons why Copenhagen will win. 1, because what's that popular saying? Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. I mean, I like that statement because it's true for a reason. 2, this is the first time that a Danish club has ever made it to the quarterfinals of the Europa League, so they have nothing to lose. They've already made history, so they can play free, which puts all of the pressure on United. But unfortunately for Copenhagen, these United players are used to the pressure, and they're going to win quite convincingly, though it'll feel closer. I'll say 2-0. And then next up, it's Inter Milan versus Bayer Leverkusen. And here are 2 things that Inter need to do to win, especially because I thought their last opponent, Getafe, outplayed them for large portions of their match, that Inter went on to win 2-0, which actually is a positive because they won a game that they probably should have lost. And that's a mark of a champion, frankly, to do that. Anyway, number 1, they got to win the midfield battle because Leverkusen's triangle in the middle of the field, Charles Aranguiz, Ezekiel Palacios, though, Kerem Demirbay could get the start, and he's excellent. And Kai Havertz, they're good, and they will punish you if you're not switched on. So Inter's midfield, and I'm looking at you, Brozovic, in particular, you got to have your A games going. And 2, and please file this under stating the obvious, but they have to get the ball to Romelu Lukaku because this man has been tremendous in this competition, where he has scored in each of his last 8 Europa League appearances, netting 11 goals. And as for Leverkusen, here's what I got. 1, make sure Kai Havertz is focused, which would be completely understandable if he wasn't. I mean, if I was 21 years old with a valuation of 90 million euros or whatever people said I was worth, and a top Premier League club wanted to sign me, I would be looking to not get hurt in these Europa League games so that I had a nice bright future with a bigger club. However, in fairness to him, I was thinking he would be a little distracted versus a weaker opponent in Rangers, but he seemed up for it, so we'll see if that continues against Inter. And 2, if possible, and please, again, file this under stating the obvious, Leverkusen need to make Romelu Lukaku's game as predictable as possible. Make him play backwards, don't let him run at you with any type of speed, mark him tight in the box on set pieces, basically ruin his day because everything Inter does attacking-wise seems to run through him in some capacity. So yeah, wow, this is a tough one. Not only because Italian clubs are struggling in Europe this season, but because I don't think too many people are giving Leverkusen a chance in this when they deserve a chance. I just think it's easier for most people to go with the obvious favorite, and that's Inter Milan and their fiery manager Antonio Conte, who, since the end of the season, has created this us-against-them mentality when he took a few shots at Inter's board at the end of the Serie A season. But maybe he did that on purpose to keep his guys motivated. And if so, and it works, then it will be considered, at least to me, a genius move because they'll play the winner of Basel Shakhtar Donetsk in the semifinals, which is pretty much booking your ticket to the final. So I'll say Inter do it, but barely, 2-1. And next up, it's the match I know you've all been waiting for, and the one I just mentioned, Basel versus Shakhtar Donetsk. And starting with Basel first, here are the 2 reasons why I think they will win. 1, they got a Xhaka on their team. Yes! I know, that's awesome. So if one Xhaka, granted that is, can win a one-off competition called the FA Cup with Arsenal, then why can't his brother win this one-off competition with Basel? It's basic math. And 2, honestly, they have to hope that Shakhtar's attackers don't have their finishing boots on for these 90 minutes because despite Basel's very impressive 4-0 result over 2 legs against a solid Eintracht Frankfurt side, they're going to be without one of their stud defenders, Ire Cormet, who is suspended, and Jonas Omlin, who is hurt. Also, if you add an experienced midfielder, Luka Zufi, who's also hurt, that might just be too many absences to key players. As for Shakhtar, well, 1, they need to remain patient, which isn't always easy when you're playing an opponent that you know you should beat. However, they demonstrated that patience in their last match against Wolfsburg and ended up scoring 3 goals in the last 3 minutes to win 3-0, and I think that mindset will be key again. And 2, they need to get the ball to their number 10, Junior Moraes, who's been one of my favorite players to watch in the Europa League this season because even at the tender age of 33, his quality and IQ for the game are quite high. So when he drops into midfield to create a numerical advantage or to get on the end of a cross in the box, there's always a purpose in his movement, and I love watching players like him. So in summation, and I say this knowing that Basel have a streak of 5 consecutive clean sheets in the Europa League right now, I think Shakhtar have got way too many weapons in the attack, while Basel doesn't have much of anything. They're a little thin on the defensive side due to injury or suspension, and I think that's going to be the difference. So I'm going to say 2-1 until the very end when Basel is pushing forward and Shakhtar sneak another one to make it 3-1. And finally, it's my favorite matchup in the quarterfinals, Wolverhampton versus Sevilla. And I say this because Wolves are into their first European quarterfinal in 48 years, so you know they're going to be buzzing. While Sevilla have won this competition 3 out of the last 6 seasons, so they're going to be buzzing too because they're one step closer to doing it yet again. And let's start with Sevilla first, if only out of respect for the former champions. And here are the 2 things that they need to do to win. 1, they need to keep doing what they're doing. And yes, I know that sounds simple, but after absolutely trouncing my favorite Italian club in the last round, Roma, 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 why would they change anything? And it wasn't only the last round, they haven't lost since the restart began, so fair play to their manager, Julian Lopetegui, for pressing all the right buttons with this squad. And 2, they got to keep feeding the bear known as Lucas Ocampos. And yes, I know he's yet to score in Europe this season, but he does lead the team in goals, and in my opinion, he was the best transfer in La Liga this past season, and that's because he makes things happen. Plus, he's due to score at some point, right? So why not in this one? As for Wolves, well, 1, they have to play better than they did over 2 legs against Olympiacos because Sevilla is a completely different beast, and they won't make the same types of mistakes that ultimately cost the Greek club from advancing, which might mean a change in formation for Wolves from a 3-4-3 to a 3-5-2, which then means, unfortunately for Diogo Jota, he might start on the bench again. But it could get Adama Traore higher up the field as he slots right next to Raul Jimenez, which I think would cause Sevilla some problems. And 2, and I don't know if this is a strength or a weakness, maybe a little bit of both, but they need to continue to play to the level of their competition, which might sound similar to the first thing I just mentioned since I thought they played to Olympiacos' level, but if they can match Sevilla's, which will be much higher, then they have a chance. But all their players need to be bringing the heat for that to happen. However, with all of that said, Sevilla have never lost in the Europa League quarterfinals in their history, and I think that experience will prove to be the difference, and they're going to win 2-1. So that's it. That is all I got. Sevilla, United, and Inter, and I don't have a Shakhtar jersey, but they're going to be going through as well, and that will set up for some great semifinal matches. Also, fun fact, the Champions League preview is coming up next. I know you're excited. I'll see you soon. Later.